So that's something we do every year that we have a lot of fun with.
This Saturday, where?
At New Samaritan.
What time?
We start distribution, I believe, at 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
But I'll give our names to, because we work both sides of the street, so to make sure that we don't have a little cross. That's one to mention that 50 are going to Carver Terrace.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
You already have names for your district?
We give them to Ms. Durham. That's so those 50 we just give them Ms. Durham, and she distributes them in Carver Terrace. That's right. Oh, wait.
She did, in general. She did. You, okay, excuse me. So you give them 50 to Thelma.
Right.
Okay.
And then she passes them out. So
Yeah,
I want you to know. Yeah.
Yeah, she does pass them out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. We don't have any names on those. We just get 50 to Carver Terrace.
But I'm sure there's several of us that work with. Yeah, there's several of us that work with Belmont. That's the chief.
Oh, so y'all know? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
yeah,
Okay, good.
So Clarence, the other ones that New Samaritan's handing out, do you already have those dedicated to you?
Yes. But they're in the neighborhood because everybody, it's an annual thing. We get, yeah, we get plenty of neighborhood people. So you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Why? I thought it was. Well, okay. It's a church duty. It's not a commission duty. It's what I do for my church duty. So that's what I thought.
Community, and it's why we're here. All right, so next up, speaking of community, we are going to stop talking and turn it over to the community for our usual round of community concerns. It's a light night tonight, so hopefully we'll be able to give folks the time they need. But this is the time where we'll acknowledge up to 5 members of the community to share any concerns that they would like to. So just ask if you'd like to speak, just go ahead and raise your hand, and I'll call on you and we'll go in that order. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. We're giving them away.
Come on.
All right, we'll go in that order, and we'll say a minute-ish if anyone needs more time. So Mr. Chubb.
Hi, my name is Sohail Chalfa. I'm with Edens. I just wanted to give y'all an update, and good evening, first of all, and good evening, commissioners. Congratulations to those of you who will continue on the commission, and congratulations to you, Mr. Butler. So I just wanted to thank the commission for your support. And for listening to us, over multiple presentations. Unfortunately, HPRB voted to oppose the ANC's requests for community involvement over the creation of design guidelines, and voted to make Union Market Terminal a historic district, and did not require design guidelines. There was a lot of talk amongst the council members over the lack of property owner and ANC support, but the question of the day was whether the buildings were historic. As we mentioned, we supported that notion, and so the buildings were made historic. And we don't know what we are going to do now going forward. We don't really have a plan. I'm sure that we'll come back in front of the commission if we need your support on something. And we may file something to preserve our rights to an appeal in this process, but we don't want to do that. That's not something we'd like to do. We'd like to come to a good solution. And we don't really know why the Office of Planning kind of rushed this through and didn't pay attention to all of our voices. And just want to say thank you for helping getting ours and the owners and the market's voices heard. So appreciate that. That's it.
Can you tell me your name again?
Sohail, S-O-H-A-E-L.
Thank you, sir. Number 2.
Sure. If I get 2 minutes, I'm just going to read here because I'm a good public speaker. Greetings, commissioners. Thank you for allowing me a few minutes to speak. My name is Kevin Horgan. I'm a 13-year resident of DC, and I'm a recent 1-year resident of Trinidad. I've had close friends in Trinidad for many years, and I'm really happy to finally call you all neighbors. Like many in this room, I was surprised last week with the election results. The country definitely seems more hard and unkind than it did only 1 week ago. Despite this, we're all here in this room today coming together to improve our community, and I extend my sincere thanks to all the commissioners for their hard work. Given the ANC election results, one of the commissioner's first tasks in January will be to select a new chairperson to lead the ANC. In past years, this ANC had a reputation for being acrimonious and slightly dysfunctional. Government organizations such as DCRA and DDOT got to the point where they sometimes didn't even expect a letter of support if a homeowner or a developer pursued a building permit that needed a variance or special exemption. The ANC was simply unable to perform its basic role as a check and balance against development when it may not have been in the best interest of the community. Of greater concern is that the past negativity deterred community involvement. It's important that our next ANC remain the functioning citizens advocate that it is right now, as it is today, and that it avoids regressing into the bickering of the past. In my request in January, commissioners will vote for a new chairperson. My request to all of you is that you vote for a functioning citizens organization, and my request to you is that you vote for kindness and compassion.
Thank you.
Kevin, what's your last name?
Horgan, Horgan.
Where do you live in Cherokee?
On Neal Street, down by the 7-Eleven.
Thank you.
And number 3.
Hi, my name's Chelsea Slaminovich. I live at 18 and Benning. I'm a zone house there, and just kind of a little ways off, but it will be before the next meeting. But we are trying to organize a trash pickup starting on 18th Street. We'll provide gloves and trash bags. If I get really ambitious, we'll be some hot cider or something. So I just think it'd be a really good idea, especially if you ever come down that street as the wind blows this time of the season, all that trash blows down the street. And I just think it'd be a really good thing before we either leave for the holidays or have folks in town for the holidays, that we can come together, meet each other, say happy holidays to one another, and just, even if you can show up for a half hour, to help clean up the trash. So it's at 750 18th Street on December 10th, starting at 9 a.m. I posted something on Nextdoor. So yeah, I'd love to see as many people as possible. What's the address again? 750 18th Street, starting at 9. My husband Ben will provide bags, just some basic, safety gloves. We'll provide little doggy poop bags if you come across that.
Tell me your last name.
Oh,
Just spell it.
all right. It's SIMONOVICH.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes,
you for organizing.
I want to thank you. I am your commissioner, and I certainly welcome, your participation in helping to clean up the community. We've been having many cleanups, and yours will underscore that effort and help to keep your block clean. So thank you. We appreciate that.
And I missed the date on that, my apologies.
December 10th, that's a Saturday at 9 a.m. I know we're all busy on the weekend, so I was planning on going like 2 hours, but if people can come for 15 minutes, do what you can.
Next up, we'll move to Ms. Goggins from Department of Energy and Environment.
Hello, good evening, everybody. How are you guys all doing? All right, so I'm super excited to come chat with you, and I have some things that I can leave with you all. But DC, actually today, we were down actually in Ward 7 at the Watts Branch neighborhood, doing a release for our Climate Ready DC plan. So obviously people have been really worried about the impact of sea level rise. We do have 2 tidal rivers here, the Potomac and Anacostia, so we are subject to sea level rise in the city. We have levees throughout the city, but a lot of people know that we've had nuisance flooding in areas like Watts Branch and the Bloomingdale neighborhood, as well as in Southwest and Georgetown. So we basically have our plan, which is the Climate Ready DC plan right here. I can leave a copy with you all to keep if you want to pass it around or have it in a meeting, whatever works for you all. But essentially what this is it has over 75 different actions that the city can take now and in the future to, on the one hand, reduce our carbon emissions. So every time you are plugging in something, it is emitting carbon, and carbon is going to hold on to all that hot air. So just like you're in your car and the sun is coming down and it gets really hot if you don't have windows, that's the greenhouse gas effect. And everything that we plug in when we're using power, we're emitting carbon. So as many of you guys know, people have met in Paris recently to set goals around the amount of emissions that we're going to create. And so our plan talks about the things we can do to reduce our emissions, things like adding solar on roofs, thinking about adding storm rain gardens to reduce all the water that we get from rain events, assisting with weatherization to reduce outages from power and storms. So this plan has more information about what those areas are. The 4 sections that are in there are governance and implementation, neighborhoods and communities, so something that will probably be of most benefit for you guys, thinking about how it impacts our rec centers. And also thinking about our utilities and transportation, so sheltering in place, things about evacuation routes for the city, and then the other piece looking at buildings and development. So how do we make sure that our rec centers or schools or hospitals are also retrofitted so that if there is an outage, we don't have vulnerable residents who are not going to be able to have access to services. And I think the biggest and most important thing is that I pretty much think that the environmental movement has not done much of a good job, I think, uplifting some of the people who have been at the front line, people who are most impacted by climate change, people who also have the least amount of resources and the most economic difficulties. So we know in DC, for instance, that our vulnerable populations, people with existing health conditions, mother, the young, low-income residents, people who are receiving any type of assistance, are going to be most impacted. So we actually are committing to equity, and we're going to be convening a community advisory group that will be focused on aligning each of these actions to make sure that we're not just creating jobs, but we have a target, we have a goal. We want to create X amount of jobs in this community. And so it's a really great opportunity for you guys to think about issues that you're having in your community. If there's flooding, there's a lot of grants and programs that we're hoping to launch in the next few weeks that will give us an opportunity to reduce our climate change impacts and also make sure that our communities are super resilient. So that being said, our plan is online. We're going to be having a webinar tomorrow from 1 to 2 p.m. I'm happy to forward it to the commissioners to provide more information, but it'll give you guys an idea of the type of engagement that we did. So how did we engage the senior community? How did we talk to people east of the river? We also did an online survey asking people what their questions and issues were with climate change. Have they been impacted by an outage? Where do you go for help? And so all of those things are going to be talked about in the webinar tomorrow. We'll also be talking about our plans for implementation. So really focusing on these community resilience hubs, places you can go to get power if you lose yours, and working again with partnering with our organization. So I'll send that to the commissioners who are welcome to forward it to you all, but either way, there will be a ton more stuff on Climate Ready DC coming soon. And if you have any questions, I'll also leave my cards in the back. I'm happy to answer any questions or support any initiatives or challenges you guys might have. Any questions? Oh yeah, so the webinar is going to be through a link, so you can actually go, it'll be a virtual room, you literally click on it, it'll pull up this window, and then you'll be able to see all the PowerPoint slides and decks. But there will also be just the dial-in information, so if you're not in front of your computer, you can still listen in. We'll also be recording the webinar as well. So if you're unable to get away from work or you have a conflict, it'll be on our DOE website, and the link is actually in the bottom of the press release for anyone who wants to go and see all of the work that we've done. So you can also catch the replay as well if you're unable to join us tomorrow. And also this app is here. This is like perfect. Download this app. Are you in a flood-prone community? Do you have flood insurance? Some of those questions are going to be addressed here and also through the webinar, but I definitely want to empower everybody to think about how you may have been impacted by outages as we prepare for the winter season, and let you know that we are super committed to making sure we're supporting our most vulnerable residents here in DC.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kelly.
Thank you.